The central United States has become the scene of one of the most destructive tornado outbreaks in recent history. The disaster left at least 28 people dead and destroyed thousands of homes, wiping out entire communities and spreading panic across multiple states. The storms began on Friday, May 16th, and lasted for several days, mainly affecting Kentucky, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Mississippi. One of the hardest-hit areas was Laurel County, Kentucky, where at least 19 deaths were confirmed. In this region, hundreds of homes collapsed or were reduced to rubble. In the city of London, Kentucky, dramatic scenes of destruction were reported. Power poles ripped from the ground, overturned vehicles, and homes literally disintegrated by the force of the wind. Texas was also severely hit, with at least 9 confirmed tornadoes. Rural areas in the northern part of the state suffered catastrophic damage. Roofs were torn off, trees were uprooted, and over 100 structures were either severely damaged or completely destroyed. Some neighborhoods had to be fully evacuated due to power line damage and gas leaks caused by the debris. In Oklahoma and Missouri, tornadoes were accompanied by large hail and wind gusts that exceeded 80 miles per hour. Authorities reported at least 4 tornadoes in Oklahoma, particularly near Tulsa and Norman, where more than 200 homes sustained serious structural damage. Released images showed homes split in half and fallen trees blocking entire streets. Mississippi also endured the impact of the storm system. Although fewer tornadoes were reported than in Kentucky or Texas, communities already damaged by previous storms saw their recently rebuilt homes destroyed again. In some counties, it was reported that over 60% of homes were damaged. Initial reports estimate that over 2,000 homes have been either totally or partially destroyed throughout the central corridor of the country. This number continues to rise as rescue and assessment teams access areas that were initially unreachable due to debris or power outages. Survivors' testimonies reflect the terror they lived through. Entire families sought refuge in bathtubs, basements, and showers, often the only spaces left standing after the impact. In Sunshine Hills, Kentucky, one family survived by sheltering in their bathtub while their home disintegrated around them. In another case, a couple and their dog survived by locking themselves in the shower. The dog was later found in a state of shock, wandering among the ruins. The scale of the disaster has overwhelmed local emergency services. Although rescue teams and volunteers have been mobilized, including basketball player Reed Shepherd, who returned to his hometown in Kentucky to assist with cleanup efforts. The magnitude of the destruction is so vast that thousands of people still lack access to basic services. In addition to the fatalities and injuries, it's estimated that more than 300,000 people lost power. Electrical and telecommunications lines were knocked down by the wind or by uprooted trees. Many hospitals are currently operating with emergency generators. The National Weather Service has warned that this event is not over. New tornado warnings have been issued for parts of Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, Arkansas, Kansas, and Nebraska, where atmospheric conditions remain highly unstable. In these states, large hail, torrential rain, and the potential for additional tornadoes are expected. The NWS also raised a growing concern. The conditions that traditionally generated tornadoes in spring are now extending into summer and shifting eastward. This means that areas like Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia could also be at risk in the coming days. Another factor worsening the situation is the lack of meteorologists in several NWS regional offices, including in Kentucky, due to budget cuts. This slows down the ability to issue timely and accurate alerts, putting millions of lives at risk. Despite this, staff have worked tirelessly to keep the public informed. Economically, the material losses are estimated to exceed $2.5 billion. This figure includes homes, businesses, public infrastructure, and agriculture. Some rural areas lost entire crops, which could affect local supply chains and lead to price increases for basic goods in the coming weeks. In Arkansas, several towns in the northeastern part of the state were hit by intense wind gusts and hailstorms accompanied by tornadoes that left a trail of destruction through rural communities. In Greene and Craighead counties, dozens of homes were reported destroyed, mainly mobile homes that couldn't withstand wind speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour. Local authorities stated that many families lost everything within minutes, and that some rural roads were completely blocked by debris and fallen trees. In Nebraska, the city of Grand Island was one of the most affected. A powerful tornado struck the western part of the city, knocking out much of the power grid and destroying industrial buildings. Over 50 homes suffered severe damage or were completely lost. Rescue teams worked through the night to locate people trapped under collapsed structures, and public schools suspended classes indefinitely due to damage to their facilities.
You need to call your kids.